Have you ever sat through a tech tutorial or an AI webinar and felt like you needed a PhD in computer science just to understand a single sentence? I know exactly how that feels, because most of the future-proofing advice you find online is either filled with confusing jargon that sounds like it was written by robots, or it's some dangerous become an overnight prompt engineer scheme designed to sell you a $900 course. My name is I've spent over 17 years working deep inside the high-stakes world of investment banking, and while I've seen how the wealthiest people manage their capital, I've recently realized that there is a different kind of capital we aren't talking about. Your AI literacy. I'm using this AI avatar format today because I want to be completely honest with you. I'm still a bit camera shy despite nearly 2 decades in boardrooms, but even if I am not ready to show my face, I have the enthusiasm to share what I'm learning as I step out of my professional vault and into the cutting-edge AI spaceware, standing at a point where there is a massive educational gap. In school, we learned about the mitochondria being the powerhouse of the cell, or the nuances of the War of 1812, things that, frankly, have never helped me understand how to navigate a world where an algorithm might decide if I'm relevant for a job. We graduated feeling academically prepared but technologically clueless. It's like handing someone the keys to a Formula One race car, which is what AI is after. They've only ever ridden a bicycle by 2030. The real problem won't be that robots took all the jobs. The real problem will be the quietly obsolete phenomenon. This is where people with impressive resumes and high-level titles are still running on a treadmill professionally, wondering why they aren't getting ahead despite doing everything right. Just like high earners who are quietly broke because they're too busy keeping up appearances to fix their financial foundation. Many professionals are quietly obsolete because they're keeping up with old workflows while the system has already moved on. So, I want to give you the minimal AI skills you actually need to master. We aren't focusing on tiny optimizations. We're focusing on the fundamentals that actually move the needle. 1. Linguistic logic. The new we've been programmed to believe that coding is the only way to talk to machines, but AI has turned literacy into the new base-level privilege. You don't need to learn Python. You need to learn how to distill high-level strategies into simple, actionable prompts. The mistake most people make is treating AI like a Google search, skipping the morning coffee equivalent of deep thought and just asking for quick answers. By 2030, you need to be a capital owner of language. This means understanding how to structure instructions so the machine does the boring stuff while you're sleeping, building your own automatic engine of productivity too. Algorithmic auditing. One of the most dangerous traps in the next decade is the safety trap, the idea that if the computer said it, it must be objective. I've spent a lot of time looking at how systemic bias is laundered through statistics, whether it's mortgage lending or job screenings. Discrimination is often baked into the algorithms and wrapped in layers of plausible deniability to stay relevant. You must be the person who can audit the output. You need to know how to ask, is this algorithm producing a disparity? Is it trained on historical data that includes decades of biased practices? If you can't challenge the technical explanation the AI gives you, you aren't playing offense. You're just a passenger in a rigged game. You need to be the human who ensures the neutral process isn't producing a result. 3. Human-in-the-loop orchestration in banking. I saw folks making $200,000 who were broke because they lacked a system. In the AI world, you'll see people with the best tools who are still unproductive because they lack orchestration. By 2030. The skill isn't using one AI. It's building systems that protect you from yourself. You need to automate your professional wealth building by knowing which tool handles the data, which tool handles the creative, and how you, the human, stay in the loop to provide the gut check that a machine can't replicate. It's about moving from being a user to being a system architect for radical adaptability. Breaking the status lock-in. Hardest part for high-level professionals is the lifestyle creep of their own skills. You get comfortable with the tools that got you the 6-figure promotion, and you become embarrassed to admit you're struggling with the new tech. You're too proud to ask for help because you're too busy keeping up appearances to stay relevant. You have to be willing to drive a beater car professionally. This means being okay with making mistakes, looking a bit unpolished, while you learn new tools, and prioritizing actual growth over looking like you have it all figured out. Status doesn't pay your mortgage, and it certainly won't protect your job in 2030. The bottom line, your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now. Most people will watch this, nod along, and then change absolutely nothing. They'll go right back to their skill set treadmill, hoping the system doesn't leave them behind. But for those of you who recognize that being quietly obsolete is a choice, not an inevitability, your future just changed. You have an enormous advantage because you're willing to do the boring stuff of learning the fundamentals while everyone else is looking for a shortcut. Let the system keep you broke in terms of your potential. Start building your intelligence engine today. If this perspective helped you out, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I'm just a human and accountant playing with new tech, and I'm looking forward to sharing this roadmap to success with you, Lyle. See you in the next one. Peace. Peace. Peace.